From delivering the verdict directly to the latest Supergirl, to the path he wanted to explore for the character, here's how Henry Cavill feels about Supergirl. There's a new Kryptonian in town, folks, but has she stuck her landing? The previous Superman sure thinks so. It's no secret that viewers adored Henry in the iconic red cape, so everyone, including the actress playing Kara, was dying to know. Did he approve? Sasha Carje talked all about it when she sat down with Entertainment Weekly, promoting The Flash. She kinda bragged that after she was done filming the highly anticipated movie, she met Cavill. Lucky her. First, she did what any of us would want to do if we meet him, give him a big hug. Then immediately, she was eager to know if her on-screen cousin was proud of her, and let me just say, he did not disappoint her. The previous Man of Steel told her that she rocked the S on her chest, doing a phenomenal job as Supergirl. Now that's big praise, and obviously, exactly what Sasha was hoping for, so she was over the moon. The actress said that coming from the Justice League actor, it meant so much, knowing she stepped into his shoes with perfection. And that's what the fans were hoping for too. After Henry's disgraceful exit from DC, the studio's loyal stans needed a dope pick-me-up with the new movie. Especially from its Kara, she's the latest super character, and all eyes were on her. Carje was on edge about it too, but she mentioned that the Witcher star was too kind to her, and meeting him was a great experience. Now, I bet she can rest easy, and she won't be the only one. After discovering Superman's opinion, fans are sighing in relief too, because many of you would already know by now, there's no bigger nerd than Henry. He has been so relatable, geeking about comic books, video games, and of course, the characters he plays. Maybe that's why he holds a special place in the hearts of all superhero buffs. He's practically one of them. So, any approval coming from him is doubled, because it means that he likes the soon-to-drop performance, both as someone who has played a similar character and as a huge devotee himself. What's more, Cavill has been notorious for sticking to the source material, like while filming Man of Steel, the lead insisted on keeping his chest hair as a tribute to the comic book The Death of Superman, where the superhero's costume rips and you can see his hairy chest. Now imagine, if he's a stickler for such teeny tiny details, that goes a long way for the diehard stans. He must have watched The Flash in the same way too, keeping an eye out for all inconsistencies, so you can take his word without a second thought. And that was just what people needed to carve out a solid opinion for Sasha's Woman of Tomorrow. While she was already the moment, some people were not too sold yet, comparing her with Melissa Benoist. She had famously played Supergirl in the Arrowverse for 6 years. People had grown so attached to her, they hoped she would appear on the big screen too. But it was Carje's turn to shine, and now that she has the fan-favorite Superman in her court, people are finally believing that she did justice to the character too. Also, get this, at first, fans speculated that Henry might be in The Flash too. That's right. When it was first announced that, finally, a movie version of Supergirl is coming to DC, that too in Barry Allen's solo flick, many people immediately sat up straight, thinking her cousin may not be far behind either. At the time, it was believable too, cause Sasha was cast in February 2021, when Cavill still wore the red and blue costume. In the same year, he had dazzled audiences in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and in 2022, he made jaws drop when he appeared in an unexpected Black Adam post-credit scene. People thought he was well and truly back, and what better place to appear than the upcoming 2023 flick? Coincidentally, it was his on-screen cousin's big debut, and Ezra Miller was a controversy magnet. The British star would have been perfect to balance that, attracting more people to watch the movie. Despite ongoing fan theories, he didn't comment on it at the time, but some hopeful folks thought maybe he's just being coy and would end up surprising everyone by appearing in The Flash. Honestly, it would have been mind-blowing. But then, we all know what happened. Fans' hopes were crushed when Cavill stepped down from the role forever. Even he was gutted about that, and he had allegedly left his smash hit Netflix show The Witcher just to play Superman in the DCEU again. Sadly, fate had other plans. James Gunn moved in, and Henry's time in the cape was up. But you know what? If he still would have been Kal-El, you might have seen him in The Flash. According to the rumors, Cavill wanted to work with Sasha. As I mentioned before, he was already in the DCEU when the young actress joined, so he knew that the studios would want to make more projects with her, and the ever-so-helpful gentleman was pumped to support her, appearing alongside her. He had done something similar in the Enola Holmes franchise too. letting his on-screen sister take center stage while playing the arguably more popular role, yet sticking to the sidelines. It wouldn't have been hard. Well, maybe his appearance in Barry Allen's solo run would have been a bit far-fetched, but Henry was game for appearing in the Supergirl movie too. Oh yeah, with Karjay's casting, it seemed like her character's solo movie would be on the horizon and Superman would be a better fit for it, maybe teaching the young superhero the ropes, acting as her mentor. Also, get this. As soon as fans heard these whispers, they went crazy, coming out with plot theories, fan art and whatnot, even where there was no announcement of any such project. Now that James Gunn has announced plans to adapt Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Henry has bid his farewell. That's a bummer, no doubt, but this movie is again bringing the handsome hunk back into discussions, because people think it'll be everything his version of Superman tried to be, but failed. Before all you Henry fans come at me in the comments section, hear me out first. Many people would agree. All of his appearances in the character leaned toward the darker side. The actor attempted to be all intense, grim, and unflinching, but it didn't take off like he had hoped. People criticized his movies for opting for the serious route, which was super unlike the character. Yes, the pun was very much intended. They had hoped that Superman would be a little more hopeful and lighter, just like he is in the comics. Hell, the huge S on his chest is a symbol of hope, so the darker adaptation was kinda an out-of-character move for him. You must be wondering why the new Supergirl movie will do it right. Isn't she a symbol of hope too? Well, yes. But here's how it has a better chance of winning the audience's hearts. The comic that Gunn is planning to adapt, Woman of Tomorrow, will fully justify the darker take. Written by Tom King, this mini-series is actually from the perspective of Ruthie, a revenge-fueled alien Kara met, and whose entire planet was destroyed. She isn't painting Supergirl in a good light. Also, James has been hyping fans saying the Superwoman you'll meet had watched everyone around her die and killed in terrible ways, so her dark moments would translate more smoothly onto the big screen. In the case of Cavill's Superman, his intensity never sat well with his origin story and perspective. But I'll let you in on a secret. Cavill never wanted the darker route. What kind of a true stan would he be if he did? He has always been against it, but maybe he kept up with it in the beginning to cement the character and kickstart the DCEU. Now that it was somewhat in motion after the Justice League, the British actor had slowly but steadily started advocating for a more hopeful version. In 2022, just after his shocking Black Adam cameo, the actor even brought it up while talking to Screen Rant, saying, "Many conversations need to happen if he's stepping back as Superman." He wanted to focus more on Clark Kent, the human side, instead of just being a badass and fighting all day, every day. How boring. He wanted the superhero to be relatable. Interestingly, while he has given Sasha's super dark performance a stamp of approval, secretly, he may not be a fan of the route they're taking. So, from the path he wanted to explore for the character, to delivering the verdict directly to the latest Supergirl, that was how Henry Cavill feels about Supergirl.